What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Black Space. I'm Tiffany here, and I am so excited about today's show. I have a very special guest. Oh my God, you don't want to miss it. Stay right there. We're going to have a fabulous time today. What's up, everybody? I told you that I have somebody super special today. I'm so excited to have her here with me today just to talk to you. You know, we're on that Take the Leap series, and this is someone that I know you guys are going to love her here on this channel. This lady, I've known her, oh my God, I don't know, it feels like my whole entire life, but 10 plus years. And I think she is going to bring us some nuggets today that we've never heard before. And this beautiful lady is an entrepreneur. She's a stylist. She's a businesswoman. I mean, she's making power moves in television. All kinds of things is happening in her life. And I remember when there was a time when she was looking for and searching for this next step in her life. And to see it all come to pass is just mind-blowing. I'm like, man, God is doing big things. So I want you all to welcome today, Miss Terra Williams is here today. I'm so excited to have you. I'm so happy you came to just share your journey with us and how God has led you to this point in your life. Now, I know I gave them a little tidbits of where you are. Just break it down to the people. Introduce yourself fully. You know, everything that's going on in your life right now.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I'm excited to be on here. Thank you for having me. This is really dope. I'm really proud of you, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
But when it pertains to what I do, I have my own business called Shahara's Touch, which involves me being a stylist, a fashion consultant, and through that, I work on movie sets and TV shows doing wardrobe. I'm a president of a clothing line called High Nation Society, HNS. And I'm completely over the visual when it pertains to the material, the logo, everything with the look. And I'm a PR president for a TV network that me and two of my partners just recently launched called Politic and Broadcasting. It's an all-black channel with nothing but positive black content. And we're trying to make some real things happen. We plan on being bigger than Netflix out here in these streets.
Whoop, whoop. That's what I'm talking about. See, now, I keep telling y'all, like, I'm bringing you the best. This is like the best in the business. And I know y'all can see her styled up to a T, okay, honey? That's been her thing, though, forever since I've always known you. You've always been someone to really put yourself together, present yourself in a way that is just like you, uniquely designed for you. And I believe that's a God-given gift, you know, that came from the Lord, for sure. And then just even talking about that, we could just talk about your journey becoming a stylist and walking into that. Just how did you even get into that? Or like if you want to talk about your journey and just finding your own style and doing all of that.
Well, one of the things I can say is that my sense of style literally came from my mama. And anybody that knows anything about my life and where I come from, I actually have a very deep testimony that talks about my mother being a dope dealer and a crip from Trey 57, and my father being a killer from 456 Blood Gang. And my mom being this big time dope dealer always was presentable, always was suited and booted. Her dress down outfit was like silk sweatsuits with diamonds on her hand, and hair was laid. So I always seen that coming up. I always seen my mom dressed, and things like that. So it all, I guess it stuck with me because when I got older. But what this is the unique thing is that when I was up until my junior year of high school, I always wore like baggy clothes. I wore like size 32, 34 pants, extra large shirts because I have my brothers. I have 6 brothers. I grew up with 4 of them in the household. So I was always, we were switching and borrowing clothing. And I wore tennis shoes all the time, but no exaggeration. When I got saved though, at 19 years old, I promise you, it was like my eyes opened to a whole new me. And it's like I had a sense of style. I had a sense of how to do my hair, how to wear my makeup, everything. And I started slowly but surely dressing how I felt.
Yeah.
As opposed to what was like trending or
Yeah.
name brands
Yeah.
and stuff.
That makes
I
sense.
just started wearing what I felt, and then over time, as I was getting older and growing in my relationship, finding myself, I started finding my sense of style. And once I did that, it started getting the attention of other people. And even though I was going through hard times, how I actually got my business started was I was back and forth in and out of a place to stay. So I was basically homeless, but I always stayed presentable. I never looked like what I was going through, because that just wasn't my ministry.
Yeah.
And
right.
And I don't play the games. And I one day I was working at a hair salon called Savvy Hair Salon, and I would show up always on point, you know, suited and booted, and low key I was even putting some of my clothes together with safety pins. Like, I had holes in my clothes, but I would always fix it. That's how I learned how to start sewing. And a client, my first client was like, I love the way you dress, but girl, I can never look like that. Like, I don't know how you do it, but me and clothes don't get along. And right then and there, I was like, well, pay me and I'll show you how to do it. And that's how I got my business started. I always had a hustler mentality. I mean, coming from the mama that I had. And when she was like, I don't know how to dress, and I was like, well, I know how to dress, and I ain't never really dressed nobody, but pay me, and I'm about to step out on faith and just see what happens. When I tell you, after we went shopping, and I saw her standing in front of that mirror, and she started getting teary-eyed because she was like, I didn't even know I could be this cute. I didn't know I could be this pretty. I was like, oh, there's really something to this. Is more than clothes. And I realized, like, just how I didn't know myself and I didn't tap into myself. There's so many people who are walking around who haven't tapped into themselves. And I know, you know, clothing is just a small part of it. You know, relationship with God is everything. But if I could, through clothing, dress them and help them find their confidence, their beauty, how handsome they are, give them, you know, a drive, an excitement about them. And, you know, inspire them to be more creative. Then that's my goal. So that is my goal when I dress people, is to make them be the best representation of themselves.
That's beautiful. I like that your journey led you to purpose, and it led you to be everything that God called you to be. Like, it opened doors for you that you never thought. And that moment, because we talk about here on the channel, just divine moments. Like, that was a divine moment that you seized. Like, you seized the moment. You didn't really know what it could be, you know, and that's what we like to tell people. Like, you might not know, like, where this is going to go. You might not know how big my future is going to be or what God has in store, because he doesn't always show us the full plan. But when you step out on faith, like, you will see things happen and unfold in your life like never before. And it's like you saw, like, it was like, that was like a push of God. Like, okay, like, this is really,
like, this is, I didn't even realize then it was going to be so big and what it is now. I just knew that it was something good that I could do for people, because I knew that that's a big part of my walk. I am a people person. I'm very big on that because of what I came from. So any love, any kind of support, any kind of wisdom, knowledge, anything I could give somebody. So I was like, okay, this is my calling. That's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna help people get dressed. And when I saw the reaction, it was just like, man, this is like, that makes me feel good. Like, I love that I got that reaction. And I remember telling God, like, God, I want more moments like that.
And that's amazing, because those are like, that's just the biggest thing. It's more than just, I'm just doing a job. You're planting seeds into people's lives that will never forget that moment. Like, I'll never forget when I went to the store and I felt beautiful, and this woman, you know, just, she did what she do, what we think is just like, oh, I'm just doing something. Like, it's just what I do. It's just who I am. Like, no, this is changing lives. And it's important for us, and I believe in our communities, in the Black community, for us to see people like you, that to show the testimony and say, hey, this can be done. You can live your dreams if you just take the chance to do it. Like, if you really believe in yourself. And I know before you were working like a 9 to 5, and you had to make the decision to fully go full time, because you just recently decided to really take that full leap. Right after you were doing it, she was styling people and doing stuff, and let me just tell you about hard work, because like, that's important. A lot of people don't feel like, you know, you have to do hard work to get to where you want to go. You might have gifts, you know, but it takes hard work. She was
lot.
styling people for free, doing stuff for people, just friends, and helping them out of the goodness of her heart. And it opened doors for you, and you were consistent in that. And then here you are. Now you have to, the moment. Let's talk about the moment when you felt like God was like, it's time for you to fully believe in the dream.
So, okay, so I had been asked to do like events for my sister Crystal, where she puts an event together for young women every year, and she provides like makeup, hair, photography, and clothing, and it's a full experience. They don't pay for that. And we just give them a moment to feel good as women. Her business is called Woman You Are, and she would constantly call me in for that. And so I was doing that, and we you know, doing our thing. And then one day she called me. She was like, you know, would you mind doing some intern stuff for this movie? I said, yeah. I don't care what it is. Yeah, I'm there. So I went, had an experience, got to work on a Chris Stokes film called Fall Girls, which is on Netflix. And then after that, I ended up doing other movies, other TV shows. But I was still working at a hair salon. And because I was still steadily hustling. Like, I got to do one, you know, I got to be constantly doing something.
Of course.
But then when I realized, though, it took way more time. That I needed more time to do what I needed to do when it pertained to the fashion. And I was like, dang, so how can I juggle this? Because, like, juggling this is tiresome. And I knew that God was telling me, Terra, like, step out on faith. And I'm like, Father, well, I'm supposed to make this money. I need to make money. And so
I know we can all relate to that. Like, all of us can relate to that.
I was like, I need to make this money. And so one day, no exaggeration, and me and my very good friend Angel, she just recently had a baby. She was my boss. Me and her kind of were like going back and forth, not in an argument, but I was just telling her, I was just like, you know, it got uncomfortable to the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was like, I'm sitting here. I was sitting at the shop because she had just recently opened up a second shop in Ontario, and there would be a lot of times where I'm just sitting in there. Right. And so I was utilizing that time to low key promote my fashion because it was this shop, and so I would prop my phone up on like some books. And then I would take pictures of myself behind this blank wall and do all these different poses because I used to model. And I started posting those pictures. And then people were just like, oh, I like the way that looked. Like, you know, can you dress me? And I was like, damn, well, I got to wait till I get off of work. And it was just too much. And then I was like, you know what? I was like, and God made it uncomfortable to where it was like, not another day are you going to be able to sit here like you ain't got other great purpose.
Wait, let me stop you right there because I want to talk about how important it is to realize that moment because God will make us uncomfortable. Don't think when you're uncomfortable that it's so bad. It's really God trying to open your eyes for you to push you into full destiny because He has more for us. He's like, I don't want you to settle for that. I have more for you. Look, you have so much more for you, and you're building another dream, and it's time for you to build your own dream. So I just want to drop that nugget off that when you said He made you uncomfortable, that's important because people need to know, like, that unsettling feeling that you're feeling right now, that I know I have more, listen to it. Go with that. Do it.
That gut feeling you have about something, and you sure, and you know that what you're doing is right, you need to go with that because I'm telling you, that is God. That is that's the gift in you stirring up. Like, I need to be able to get out. I need to be able to do what I need to do. And I was sitting up in there like my heart was beating. I had anxiety. It was weird, butterflies, and I was like, I got to go. I'm sorry, but I'm leaving next week. Like I'm finna quit. She was like, what? And anything I've ever done, I've always put 110% into it. So she didn't want me to go.
Of course.
And because I know how to wax and buff floors. I mean, I've been working since I was 14 years old. But that was the thing. I've always been working to do what I needed to do to get what I needed. But I never did what I was happy about.
Your purpose.
What I was excited about ever. And I said, you know, this is the time for me to do this. I done had all of these other experiences. And I've seen the doors that it can open up for me. Imagine if I've given myself real time and space to really do this. And who knows what other doors that thing can open. And sure enough, the moment I quit, it was like a week later, no exaggeration, I go to a thing called Media Minds at Loveland Church, and it's about men and women of God who are saved in the industry, who have made it without compromising who they are as men and women of God. And there was, music producers, there were TV, movie directors, like all this kind of stuff. And there was this gentleman named Chuck Williams who was wild and crazy. I was like, this white man is on one, but something about him stands out to me. He already had my last name too, so I was like, this sign from the Lord. And so I was suited and booted, of course, and I had one card left. And I told myself, I said, and this, and declaring what you're gonna do in life is big too. I spoke into existence what I wanted, because at this point I knew who I was and what I was capable of. All I know, I just knew then that I needed to be in right in front of the right people. And so I had one card. I said, I'm gonna work for that man. And he came down off the stage after they interviewed him. And I said, sir, this is my card. I'm anything on your movie set, I'm willing to do. It doesn't matter what it is. Just so that you know, I do fashion consulting. I'm a stylist. He said, we don't even have a wardrobe person for this next movie that's coming up. He said, if you can make it to Tucson, Arizona by a specific date, I'll make you head of wardrobe.
Look at that.
So when I first did my first movie, I was the assistant. I was putting hangers, clothes on a hanger. And then I ended up being the top wardrobe. My whole visual, I was in charge of the whole visual for the movie, for a country western movie. What? I came from Compton. I don't know nothing about no western movie.
There's no boundaries. There's no boundaries on when you are gifted and when you are talented. And we need to be in those spaces. You know what I mean? Our voices need to be heard and shown in those spaces. And I like the fact that you, even though you were afraid, you still did it.
Because even that drive to Tucson, I never drove 8 hours, 400 by myself. I had to drive 400 some miles out. I had to drive 8.5 hours out by myself, going into the space and play. I don't know nobody. I don't know anything. And I definitely didn't even really fully understand what I was getting into. Because I'm coming from big movie sets. They already got the wardrobe together. So I just pick and be like, oh, this was look good. When I got there, there was boxes. And the first day we all came on set, he was like, I need you to find a look for 12 of the cowboys. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm here now. I got to make it work. And I did that thing, and it ended up working out. Like, one thing I do know is, just like God worked with Moses when he worded his mouth, he'll give you what you need as long as you just step out on faith. And do what you need to do. And I stepped out on faith saying, I'll be there. Even though I didn't really know how I was going to get there. I stepped out on faith and took that drive even though I wasn't sure of what to anticipate. But I had everything that I need and ended up doing an amazing job on it. And I was just like, oh my God. And then from there, more doors.
That's your gift, making room for yourself. Like making room for you. And really opening the doors to make you really realize what's really inside of you. Like, I feel like those moments where you find out what I'm really is this. I don't know. I ain't never been out here. I don't know. I watch Western movies, but I mean, like, what do you mean do this? But it's like, it was like God showing you this is inside of you. There's no limits. There's no end to what you can do. So now you're on these movie sets, you're working with people, and then you envision yourself doing more, or you didn't know that it could be what it was going to be like walking into, because now you're into television. You didn't know you were going to go on that side of things. You knew. So look how it's so amazing. God's so amazing to me. Look how God just continues to expand us, right? And let us see beyond what we thought we could even do. Like, and so the styling opened the door for you to even now go into the television.
And what's so interesting about that is that one thing I saw coming up is that everybody always try to limit anybody. People always tell you, well, what are you passionate about? What are you good at? And to me, that always seems so limited. And the reason why I say that is because I've always had multiple talents. I've always had multiple gifts, and I've always utilized them all. I mean, I know how to do fashion consulting, interior decorating, party planning, sing, dance, model, all of these things. And I found a point to utilize every single one of those, because I realized I don't know which one of these gifts that God has given me is going to open up a door. So from my past history in modeling, and me doing those pictures in Angel's hair shop up against that wall, I caught the attention of a gentleman named Ronnie Howard, and Ronnie was like, "Would you mind modeling my clothing, which is for H&S?" And I was like, "Let me go on this page and see what it's about." And I was just kind of like, well, I don't know, because it was about the chronic leaf. And I was like, well, I don't smoke, and I'm not trying to be representing that. But when I got more into their actual page and found out what they stood for, it was actually the clothing line represents the other benefits, as opposed to just getting high for just whatever reason. It's talking about how it benefits and helps people with chronic pain, with anxiety, with insomnia, which is something that I've dealt with. I don't smoke, but like they talk about the CBD and all these different things, that how it benefits, just more so than just people rolling up blunts. So I was like, you know what, I can do something with that. But before we even got there, I was starting off as a model, and I went on this page and I saw this girl taking a picture a certain way. The picture, I was like, man, you could have did that a whole lot better. So me talking to him about what I see, because I'm just a visual like that, he was like, well, I like your ideas. Can we sit down and have lunch? So we ended up not even talking about me modeling no more. And he was like, I want to pay you for your ideas. And I was like, well, for sure, let's make some real things happen. And I was like, okay, God, that's interesting. And then a year later, he, after COVID hit, a lot of stuff came to a halt. And it was just kind of like, man, what we going to do with the business or whatever. But I was just like, just giving my ideas. But then he calls me up and was like, Terra, I thought about it, and you're an asset to the company. I want to make you president over the clothing line. And I want to increase, what we're doing for you and things like that, because you are an asset. And, there's something about like when you're surrounded by people who actually appreciate your gift. Because I always grew up with not knowing if my stuff meant anything. Or, if it really was as good as as it is, because nobody was really supportive. But then when you surround yourself with people who acknowledge it, who support it, who utilize it, who are cheerleading you on, like keep doing what you're doing. It makes the whole process that much greater.
That's what we talk about, how in taking leaps of faith, you do need a support system, a good support system. And in life, you have people that come in and out of your life I feel like different seasons for different parts of our lives, to help push us and catapult us to the next level of our lives. And it's important to have that around you, because as much as you are chasing your dreams and going after it, to have people to be like, okay, somebody give you an opportunity, like, okay,
trust in me.
I'm gonna trust you to do it. Somebody to believe in you, because sometimes you don't even, as creatives, we might not fully see the fullness of it.
Your own bubble,
your own world, your own bubble. What it is, you might feel like you're insignificant. Like people might feel like they're the small,
like that a lot.
Like you're the small piece, but you're not. Like what you have, your contribution. It may seem small, but it is actually bigger than what you could ever imagine or think, right? So I think that's important that you're touching on that, just having real people around you to be like, hey,
no, it's imperative. It's imperative. And one thing, if I could give any advice is that, I don't care who they are. I don't care what the situation is. Family, friend, anybody. Because when I got to a certain point in my life where I knew what I was capable of, and what I could do, like what I know I can do, what I can bring to the table. After that, it was like, if ain't nobody celebrating me, you can't be around me. Nobody. And them is just the facts, because I realized the benefits of having positive people around you, because it feeds you and then it energizes you, and then you want to go that much harder. But when you constantly got people around you like, I don't know if you should, and I don't know about this or that, then you start questioning yourself, wasting time doing unnecessary things that serve no purpose for your future.
Those are dream killers, and they're distractions to your purpose. So and God has purposed us for so much. If I'm wasting all that time trying to prove that I'm good enough, or trying to be what you feel I should be, because people too, in their good intent, in their best intentions, will try to enforce their dream or belief upon you. Like, oh, but you good at that, but maybe you should do it in this area, or maybe you should do it like this. But you know the vision that God gave you, and you can only walk out what He gave you to do, right? And sometimes your best intentions, your family, your friends could be like, I don't know if you should. You think you should do this first? Like maybe you should go to school, or maybe you should do. And it's not knocking anybody, but somebody be like, wait, quit your. Wait. Maybe you should stack up your money first, and I'm not saying you shouldn't plan. You know, everybody's journey is different, right? And I'm all about planning and finding the way to, you plan it out and think it out how you want to get it done. But also knowing that it's your journey. It's not my journey. Your journey is different than mine, but we can support each other through the journey. I can say, hey, Terra, listen, I have an idea that might help you. Take it and see if it works for you. I can't get an attitude if you don't take that and do it, because my way may not work for you. You can say, okay, I like that idea.
Picture.
Right. Let me tweak it. Yeah. You know what I mean? For my vision and my journey. So now you're working with this clothing line. Yeah. Now you're in television.
And that was so when he was giving me the information about making me president, him and another individual named Caleb, had already 5 months before COVID started, had already had this idea about a TV network channel. And so him understanding the gifts that I have, he had brought me to the table to Caleb and was like, we need her.
Yeah.
And before he could even fully let him know, I told him, I was like, I need to be a part of that, homeboy. Like, I need to be a part of that. So what do I have to do? Who I need to talk to? Because immediately in my mind, I was like, my mind started going. I was like, oh, we can do some great things with this. And I talked to Caleb, and Caleb was a real mellow dude. Like, he real, like, you never know
what he's thinking
at all. And I'm just like, are you happy? I don't, like, did we have a good conversation? I don't know. And so and I talked to him. Me and him had a conversation, and I was telling him, like, I really want to be a part of this. He was telling me, like, I think, like, you'll be a dope addition. We definitely want that female aspect, but I feel like you're very talented. You have good ideas. You're well connected. And it was just like, I just really feel like you got something to bring to the table. Yeah. And the way I was brought in, you would have thought I was at the table when they came up with this idea.
But like, that's the door. That's
they
how
just
it
brought me in on a partnership level. Not just somebody that's just doing work behind the scenes. Partnership level. Yeah. And we just booked our building in Riverside for Riverside Studios for our production, so that we'll be able to do live, TV shows.
That's amazing.
Eventually, we try and do short films, like all kinds of stuff, like just any and everything. And it's just all been mind blowing. It really has, and I'm just like so grateful to God, because it's just one thing after another. Yeah. And I don't even try to figure out what's next. I'm just like, well, whatever's ready, just, whatever is coming before me, God, just have me prepared and let me have the wisdom for it. Yeah. Because now I look forward to weird moments. Yeah. I look forward to uncomfortable moments that got me thinking a little harder than I need to and everything else, because I know that something's about to happen. Yeah. I know that when it's outside of the normal, something real about to happen out here in these streets. And I'm telling you, it's been amazing, and God, it's been so humbling. Yeah. And I was told, if you stay humble, doors are going to open, and doors continuously open. I'm working with people. Oh my God. So I have a gentleman who I styled. He's so amazing. His name is John. And he has my last name too, which is so interesting. And I've taken him in like a little brother. And he's a rapper and he's a singer. And I had styled him for a photo shoot and stuff like that, and he acts as well. But then he came out with this song that he did, and he let me listen to it. And he was like, Terra, what you think? I was like, oh, this is a dope video. Like, I mean, a dope song. I can see like the video being this, that, and everything else. He said, yeah, and I had every intention of you directing it. So I was talking to a video director named Joelle that I've been working with on 4 different projects already. And I'm about to be directing my first music video.
That's awesome. It's like opening your mind and being ready for whatever God has for you. You're really taking the limits off of yourself, like, and off of what could be. And what I do love too, because you have 2 Black partners that, like, I love to always reiterate this. I know I say it on everyone. There is Black people out here doing positive things, and we're supporting each other.
And it's on some I
It's
was
real.
I was taken back when because I was adamant. I'm coming to the table like we need to be positive. We need to be positive Black channel.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I'm still learning. Ronnie, because we have only been knowing each other about a year, and I don't know Caleb at all.
Yeah.
So me coming like, who you to come to tell us what we need to do on our channel? But when I came, they were like, that's where we at too.
Yeah.
And that made me feel like, oh, I'm in the right place, because these two Black men, instead of wanting to be all about money and all this kind of stuff, they like, no, let's grind and let's really make a difference for the culture. Exactly. And our biggest goal, is to convey positivity and to show our people that we are doing real things out here in the streets. That there's so much going on with just the everyday person that you see. They don't have to be on TV and be celebrities and have 1,000, millions of dollars or things like that. There are people doing real stuff out here who are Black, who are positive, who are encouraging, who are intelligent, who are successful, who are balling out of control, but that you just don't know about it. And
I didn't pay her to say this. Just telling you,
I'm trying to tell you,
this is really real.
And me having the privilege of being around all these different people, I'm like, these people need to be talked about.
Yes, and that's why I created the vision I had, because I believe that, we are bombarded every day, told that we are not doing things as a Black culture. Like we're negative. Right. We're living in the streets, or we're fighting each other all the time, or we're mad. Do you know how positive, there's people in our community that are small, like everyday people that work. You got hairstylists, you got janitors, you got people that work in schools, you got all that love each other and truly want to big up each other. So like, there's people in all walks of life, Black people, supporting each other the way they can, however they can.
Let me tell you something. I have a homeboy named Anthony, and Anthony is inspiring to me. He's younger than me, but this man, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Anthony is in his late 20s. This man he works with in the medical field. He owns, I think, 2 or 3 homes. Yeah. One of his homes he's created for it to be a space and place for people to come in and change their lives, turn their lives
like a transitional home.
Yes, a transitional home. It can house up to 14 people. Awesome. And this is what he been doing. Yeah. And not only does he do it, his brother does it. And it's like, this is dope. Like, you do this, and he was like, yeah, we've been doing. I said, people need to know you doing this. This is crazy. Like, this is amazing. And he's so humble. Yeah. He's so successful. Yeah. And just to have that heart as a young Black man, he ain't out here trying to get the next gold chain or anything like that, or just trying to be out here balling and look at me. No, he's actually a very private person, but he out here changing lives as a young Black man and living successful. And I'm just like, that's amazing.
The world has to see
it. Amazing. Yeah. And I'm very, very, one of the things, on top of everything that I do, my greatest passion and greatest gift is ministering. I mentor young girls. I actually have a mentoring event that's coming up in November, I believe 15th or 18th. And I'm going to be talking to 11-year-old, 13-year-old girls who have been through some stuff. Right. And I'm going to go and speak to them, speak into them. We're going to do activities. And I'm going to, show them how to wrap their hair with head wraps. Because I want them to feel beautiful. I'm probably going to bring some of my pieces so I can put it on them. And then they were talking about me possibly putting a fashion show together for them. Awesome. Which is going to be just amazing. I love working with young people. And one of my biggest passion, above fashion, above TV, above clothing, is mentoring and talking to young girls, especially young Black girls, because we're the least respected, the least protected in this world, and it's imperative that we as Black women be examples for the other young Black women. I don't care what background you come from, because I done came from all kinds of backgrounds. I'm going to tell you how beautiful you are. I'm going to speak to you. I'm going to compliment you. I'm going to build you up. I'm going to give you what I got. Yeah. Even if you're not used to it, I've had girls who, straight from the hood and be like, excuse me. And I'll be like, you're beautiful. Yeah. Like, I love what you got on, girl. And just even hearing that from another Black girl goes far.
With a genuine place is not me trying to be, it's not fake love. Like, and then understanding that's important to display to this next generation
Yeah.
because they need that. They need to know that no, Black women, we love each other. We can be
Yes.
a collective, and we're from a range of colors and diaspora. It does not matter.
It don't matter how dark,
or
how light.
We're beautiful.
Period.
We're God created, and we love one another, and we can support
Respect
each other and say you're beautiful and you're this and you're like really supporting one another. And that's the community that we come from. You know what I mean? That's the community that I believe. I mean, I've had a group, an array of friends that are all sizes, shapes, like everything, personalities.
Yeah.
And I believe in that. And that's something that I want to. And I love that you're doing that because I feel like that's something that's much needed. It's a needed area in our community. They need to know, and if we have the voice, if we can do it, let's do it. Like,
so much is given, much is required.
Yes.
I can't have all of these gifts, all of these experiences, all these talents, and assume that it's just for me and for my benefit and for the comfort of my life. Them is for the birds. Any gift that you have in life, it is meant for you to share it. It is meant for you to give it up. It is meant for you to teach somebody else.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna be here forever.
Right.
And
that's right.
if I can help and inspire and encourage and I had a friend who I styled, and her young daughter saw what I was doing for her mom, and she was like, I want to be a stylist like that too. And I was just like, okay. I was like, this is dope. And I told her, I'm gonna tell you this now, you could be the youngest, flyest stylist right now at 11 years old.
Exactly.
Do it now. Get you a channel, start putting stuff together, start putting little clothing together, have conversation about what it is and things like that. Told her, if you ever need any help with anything, you let me know. But it's like, they don't have to wait until they get older, until they get a college degree, nothing like that. Now, if you got passion and you're inspired by anything right now, they should do it right now. And it's just so imperative that young Black girls, young Black people be inspired about something, especially with everything that's going on right now in our society. So much is happening in the world, and it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. It can be frustrating to the point to where you could either feel like giving up, being like, you know what, I just don't care, and I'm just about to wild out.
Right.
But then there's the other group of people like ourselves who are like, no, there's a positive space and place that you can be in that can literally almost drown that negativity out. It will. And then on top of while you're drowning that out, you could be growing in the process and becoming something great. And it's important that we help them find out where that space is for their life.
So listen, Terra has so many aspects and so much to give to the world. And just talking to you today has just been beautiful. And I mean, she has so many things she's doing, like so many. So there's so much that she has to offer. And if you need services in any of those areas, I want you to reach out to her. I want you to tell people where they can find you so that they know they can reach out to you. Look, she's open to talk. She loves counseling and giving advice too on her journey and her thoughts on things. And I mean, I know I'm speaking for her, but I mean, I can do that right now. I'm just saying, she's my god sister, so of course I can talk about it. I'm not just bringing it to her because she's my god sister, but because I know that she has a wealth of knowledge, and knowledge comes in all forms and shapes and sizes and
I didn't realize that knowledge would come through fashion.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's so much. There's so much that we have to give as a people. That's the vastness of who God is and how He works through us. Yes. How He uses us. So I know you will want to reach out to her in any area. Like she's a mentor. You can book her for things. Like you can have her come in and really help your if you have a youth group. Speak to those people, speak to those young people, speak life. She's a stylist. If you need help dressing, I mean, come on now.
Yeah, I get you right.
If you have ideas for a TV show, reach out to her. You're Black and you're positive and you want to do great things. Listen, come on now. I'm bringing people to you to help you get to where you need to go. This is what this is all about, is connecting us as a people so the world can know, hey, they're out there doing big things. And they're everyday people. They ain't gotta be famous. You don't have to have tons and tons of money. We don't care about that. We're about making your dreams come true.
That's another big thing when it pertains to my fashion. I'm one of my biggest models is that you can be fly on a budget.
All right now,
because I had to learn how to do that because I was homeless and going from place to place. The stuff I had on that people were giving me compliments on was costing me like $5 here and there, $10 here and there, but I made it look like money.
Right.
So I'm very big on that. So don't assume. Like, don't be hesitant to call you know, a person like
Yes.
me, because you're like, oh, dang, I ain't got the money like that. I'm very big about stretching that dollar.
Yes.
Very big about stretching that dollar. Like this entire fit that I have on, this jacket right here was $15. These pants, no exaggeration, were $7.99. This was a $2.99 top. And then right here, I have this hat that was given to me as a gift. But it depends. It's all about the confidence that you have behind it. And, you know, allow your personality to shine through.
Right.
You do the talking, you know, let your personality do the talking. This is just, you know, the little icing on the cake.
Outerwear.
You know, that, you know, it enhances who you already are, your greatness.
Right.
And so, yeah, like, you know, a person want to get in contact with me, I have my Instagram that displays a lot of my fashion consulting and the things that I do on movie sets or TV shows, which is under Love of the Land _ the only. And
we'll have it in the description box just in case. I know. You have it under the description box.
My Facebook, I do ministering on there, and that's under Terra Williams, and that's, you know, that's basically where a lot of my ministry and speaking and going live and encouragement comes on that platform. And you know, and you can go into my descriptions, you can get my number and be able to call me and book me to, you know, style you for an event. If you want to revamp your whole entire wardrobe, if you got a movie you need me to work on, a TV show you need me to work on, if you have content, you know, me being a PR president, I'm constantly trying to look for content. I don't care what you do, as long as it's positive, because I'm going to make sure it's positive.
Right.
But if you sing, if you dance, if you're an actor, if you're a director, if you're, you know, a rapper, if you're a teacher, if you're a cook, I don't care what you do. If you a TV host, I'm trying to tell you, like, come and get on Politic and Broadcasting. We're trying to elevate our people and put them in a space and place. Our biggest goal right now, and as a company, is creating a platform for people to be able to develop, show them the ABCs of everything when it pertains to developing their channel, their content, so that they can just be great. We don't hold anybody to no contract, because if you go and flourish and somebody else want it, go.
Do what you need to do.
Because we are trying to get everybody, you know, content so that we can get it to the best, you know, the best level that it can be at.
It's about elevating. Oh, and she gonna have a YouTube channel coming soon, y'all. I'm gonna just let y'all know.
I'm working on
working on some stuff behind the scenes, because we got to get that out there. Okay, we need her in every platform in every area. So I really want to just thank you for coming and just sharing your story with us and your journey, and really being a light and dropping the nuggets that you did, because I feel like people really gonna connect with it and they're gonna learn a lot. That's the purpose, and that's what we're here for. So thank you so much for coming and being a part. Well, you know that you can reach us on our social media platforms at The Positive Black Space on Instagram and on Facebook. And if you like the content that we have to offer, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss not one of our uploads, because we're bringing you the best. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. And also, you know how we always end it here. We know the world is a crazy place. We know this, really we do. But it is always a good idea to be positive. And to all my black queens and keys out there, stay black, stay bold, and stay beautiful. We'll see you later.